What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Neverwinter, the new update. This is the Elemental Evil update. So the max level is now 70. I'm level 63. It takes quite a while to level up, in my opinion. The quests, they don't give you that much XP. They give you like 10,000 each. There's some that give you 30, and then I think they gain more XP as you go through them, so I'm just gonna keep doing that for my characters. But I got 4 characters to go through, which all 4 will be getting a build video today. It won't all come back, like it won't be all uploaded on the same day, but I'll be recording them all today. So I'll be voice crack. I'll be uploading those over the next few days. And we're starting with the Guardian fighter here, Gimli, my beast. He is. First off, I want to state the new things. There's new a guild look for your guild things. It's really cool. Stronghold will be coming out soon. Information. This is actually my guild that I'm in. And this is our group. We're a pretty good group. This is the beast trickster I've been speaking to you about. But yeah. So the invoking. There's a new invoking system where you can invoke. The first invocation it takes 15 minutes to get the second one, and then it takes 30 minutes, and then 45 minutes, I believe, and then 60, then I think it goes up like that. I'm pretty sure. New spells and new feats for each class, so you get these little things too for invoking that give you like a buff or something, I think. So let me see what else it can give me. I think it gives you a gift of recovery, and like it gives you a random thing. I'm not sure what it gives you actually, to be honest, but yeah, you can't do dungeons, so you can do dungeons. So if you go to the queues, you can do like Cragmire Crypts 19, so you can actually play with your friends if they're lower levels and help them through dungeons, but it's only 3 people per dungeon because it makes it easier. Because of how high your level is, you'll still do the same type of damage, it just be lessened to what that dungeon is. So Grey Wolf Den, Temple of Spider, you can still do 3 dungeons just to test your DPS out in your builds. Each person gets a new respec token, or gets to respec their characters completely, which is really good. You can look up new ways to build them and test them out, as you'll see what I did with my Guardian Fighter. New PvP, 10v10, and I think there's another one too that after this. I think there's 2 new PvPs. Plus, I've heard that in high-level areas, there's certain zones inside those areas that you can PvP in, so you can do like 1v1s and stuff easier. I haven't done dungeons yet, so I have no news on that yet, but you will get news once I start doing that. You'll get videos of dungeons, PvP, and all that stuff. But without further ado, let's head to the build. Plus, you also get one more thing to state. You also get you can get a VIP, which gives you, let's see right here. If you go items, VIP per diem, I can actually get this. It gives me a dungeon. An epic dungeon key every day, plus some ID scrolls, and then it gives me a key. And the dungeon key, the epic dungeon key, you can get on all your characters. The enchanted key, you can only get it on 1 character a day. So if you go VIP benefits, my benefits are, what did I do? Okay, it's not okay. My benefits are 10% bonus XP. Glory and XP for professions, and 15% bonus Astral Diamonds, bonus rewards from daily quests and Protector's Enclave. Plus I can go to the Moonstone Mask VIP area, and I get the enchanted key and stuff. Each rank has different things you can look through when you get on, but yeah. This is also in the new areas called Reclamation Rock. I was just doing quests with my buddy, he's in my party, but without further ado, let's check out the new stuff. So I'm not sure if PvP got any new things. Oh yeah, see now you have Gronto Grime, Icewind Dale, so there's 2 new PvP areas, plus you have Domination. Match history, my matches are booty. 9 wins, 0 losses already? Jesus. I'm not very good. My tank is really good, like he can do tanking really good. It's just not very he's not very attack based, so he can't really get kills, but yeah, let's head into the thing. So I built my character for pure DPS, or for pure tanking, I mean, pure defense, pure tanking ability, and just buffing my teammates. You can also see you get a 4th artifact at level 70, just so that you know, plus you get new gear. And another thing, the item level is what used to be gear score. They took, like, it's no longer gear score because what I'm guessing is that people were constantly thinking that gear score is the main focus when actually it's your spec that matters. Nothing, gear score does not matter a single bit. It just helps you look better, and it shows like that you have better stats. The more gear score you get, the better stats get. But speccing your character is what matters. If you have high gear score and your character spec wrong, you still get beat. So if we go into my stats quickly, you'll see that I have 47,000 HP. I have 28 Constitution. I have 17 Dex, which means I get minus 7% resistance ignored, deflection chance plus 3.5%, AoE damage resist plus 7%. I have strength 22, so that gives me regeneration of stamina, which is really good for my shield up and stuff. You can see my defense is 7,000, all that sort of stuff. So they also got rid of attack and healing stats, so you can't actually, like before they used to have a thing called attack and healing. But you see, like, look at the XP, 2 million, Jesus, and 400,000 to the next one. Let's jump into my powers real quick. The powers I run right now, because I was helping my buddy do things. I was trying to get him to do DPS because he's a trickster. He does the DPS. I had cleave. I just had this on just so I could actually hit things. Normally I have Tide of Iron, and I'll show you the other one after. So I have shield talent, so that my guard consumes stamina 5% lower, plus it gets boosted up to 3, so it's 15% stamina bonus, so that it's slower for my shield to go down. My shield can stay up longer without it going down. Lightning Strike for some added damage, plus the power grants you 50% increased damage resistance for 3 seconds. I just have this so I can actually hit things. Not really. Once I get into the dungeons, I'll actually change it up. Voice crack. I'll change it up a lot. I use also Enforced Threat, so I can taunt the enemies and cause them to attack me instead of my teammates. Fire's Recovery, that just heals you. I'm not sure if I'll be using that. I'll test that out a bit. I use Terrifying Impact because it's really good for knocking things down that are attacking people in front of you. Plus it helps with stuff like Spell Plague. I use it a lot. Just because it knocks down all the mobs in a certain line, keeps them from attacking you. Plus it does some damage to help them get down. I have Guarded Assault. While blocking, reflect 5% of incoming damage to your attacker. This damage cannot exceed 15% of your maximum HP. So it goes plus 5% again, 5%, so it's 15%. And then it'll be 20% if I boost it up at level 70. I don't use Crushing Surge. Knight's Challenge, I'll have this for like one-on-one fights, or for bosses I can challenge them to do one-on-one, sort of like the dragons of Tiamat, so that they do less damage to everybody else. And I also have Anvil of Doom because this is a decent power. It's very strong, and it deals double damage if your target had 40% or less health, which is really good. Frontline Surge, I use this in Dreadvault if I ever do it. I don't usually do it because it's just really hard, in my opinion. I can also respec again if I don't like my builds, because I have, for some reason, I have another respec. Sorry about the voice cracks. I'm really tired, so my voice gets cracky. Ferocious Reaction, I have to test that out. I haven't done anything with it yet. Again, if I learn new spells, I'll tell you guys about when I do dungeons. I won't do another build video unless I respec again. But my other at-will I use is Threatening Rush. Rush to your target and slam to them with a painful looking attack. Your target and those around it are temporarily marked, which means damage is buffed to those enemies, so they take more damage. Into the Fray, I use this because it actually gets a buff in your feat tree. In my feat tree, which you guys will see later, it's a fierce battle cry that temporarily increases your adventuring group's run speed and action point generation. In addition, all group members receive a small portion of your maximum hit points as temporary hit points, and 25% of your damage resistance as increased damage. So they get a boost in damage when I use this. 25% of my damage resistance. So if I boost my damage resistance, that's the more damage they'll get. 25% of that. Recovers 15% of your stamina over 8 seconds for myself. That's buffed, so it lasts for a bit longer. Or no, it's buffed so that it does more damage buff plus it. So it's instead of 25% of the damage buff, it does 75% now. I'll definitely get to 4, so do 100%. Plus run speed is good too for boss battles. Supremacy of Steel, I haven't tested this out to be honest. God, sorry. I'm following a build that I actually looked into, so Trample the Fallen, I'm not really using this because I just don't see any use in it. Iron Warrior, I just put that up just because I needed to put something up. And I could test it out to see if it works too, I'm not sure. But anyway, usually I'll use the same spells. Generally when I do dungeons, I'm going to be running Knight's Valor for sure. Defend your group temporarily intercepting half of all damage they would have taken, and then build threat based on a proportion of how much you intercepted. So the damage that I get, there's also a 10% in resistance buff, but my teammates take 50% less damage, and I take that damage for myself, so it's good because I have a lot of health and stuff like that. Plus you run that with Into the Fray and Enforced Threat. The way I do it is usually run Knight's Valor, stays on all the time. I keep it up as much as I can. I then use Into the Fray so I can get that speed boost, and then I use Enforced Threat because Into the Fray boosts its damage, plus it makes me fast so I can get out of those situations so I can run away real quick. Bull Charge, I use this in Dread Vault too to knock the things off the edge, knock the big guys off the edge. So I use that and and Frontline Surge. These voice cracks are unreal. Indomitable Strength, I like this. It's really good for just like a good attack to do some damage, and it can knock some enemies prone and knock them off the side if I have to. And Commander Strike, I just been using this a bit just for damage for myself when I'm soloing things. When I'm soloing, I usually use Commander Strike or Frontline Surge, and then I'll use Lunging Strike. Desperate Survival actually sounds pretty cool though. And then I use Lunging Strike and what was the other one? And Anvil of Doom. So those are the ones I usually use. Plus I use Cleave just so I can kill things faster because the other attack is a bit slower. Alright, let's move over to the feats now. So these are what feats look like. I went down the Tactician Paragon simply because I think it's better. Oh, I got something off. Because it boosts up my teammates rather than what Protector Tree does, and I'll explain that later. But for now, we're going to show you what I did. I went Toughness, I went 3 because I want that extra 9% of hit points. Gives me a bit more health to work with so I don't take as much, so I can take more damage. I went Strength because it increases the effectiveness of Strength by 15%, which means I get more effectiveness out of it, and I get more stamina regeneration and stuff. Distracting Shield, I went with that because when I guard an attack, it decreases the attack of the other person, of the enemy attacking me by 3% when I'm guarding it, which is really good. I also went with Armor Specialization, increases the effectiveness of armor class and defense by 15%, so my defense is increased a lot more. I then went with also Potent Challenge by upgrading it to 3, so I went Toughness 3, Strength Focus 3, I went Distracting Shield 3, Armor Specialization 3. I didn't go with this one because I don't need to boost my damage, because when you're guarding fighter, you're not really attacking, you're doing mainly just protecting yourself and then doing the buffs for your teammates. And again, you see down there I can get respec again. I don't know why it gave me that. For some reason only the guardian fighter got on my account, but I did this because I generate 15% more threat. This is Potent Challenge. I put 3 up in there so I gain that extra threat so my teammates don't have to take as much attack and they can do work on their DPS. Pin down, the prone duration of your powers are increased by 2 seconds, which is really good, or 0.2 seconds I mean, just to increase the prone. I didn't do in critical chances because I don't need that. ubiquitous shield. I can't even say that word. Ubiquitous shield. Reduce the damage effects of combat advantage against you by 15%, which is really good, so that when things are behind me, they do less damage. Now for my Paragon feats. Again, I went with the Tactician Paragon, mainly reason because if you go look through these, this is more DPS based. So if I wanted to be a DPS Paladin, I'd go, or Guardian, I would, and DPS Iron Vanguard Guardian. If I wanted to be a DPS Guardian in general, I'd go with Conqueror path. Protector is obviously, with every melee hit on an enemy, you'd reduce its damage by 5%, maximum 20% damage reduction. That'd be good if it was like soloing, like if I was doing boss fights where it's just one big boss that did a lot of damage, but I didn't really see the point in it because it doesn't. That would be really good actually, Shieldmaster, but there's no point in getting it now because this is more if you want to be sitting there defending things. But the reason I went with Tactician is you'll see why. First off, my Tactician, I went 5 on Fight On, so I get my encounter cooldowns are reduced by 10%, which means I can do my Enforced Threat, my Into the Fray faster. Sorry, again, voice cracks. I went Daunting Challenge 5, because marked targets now deal 10% less damage to your allies, but still deal full damage to you. So I can just keep marking targets, and they do less damage to all my enemies to all my allies by 10%. So their damage is reduced by 10%. All the allies are the enemies that I taunt. So if we're like in a big boss, like let's say the Castle Never, I can mark the dragon, and he'll do less damage, 10% less damage to my teammates, which is really good. So I can do more damage to the I'll be tanking the ads, and as I tank the ads, they can do more damage without having to. They'll take off 10% damage from that feat plus the 50% from my Knight's Valor, and I can just tank the ads while they attack, and they don't have to worry about taking as much damage. I then went with also Rousing Speech. Allies within 30 feet of you gain action points 5% faster, which means like the powerful classes like the Rogues, the Scourges, all that, they can get their Tyrannical Threat, their I don't know what the Trickster's Daily is. That's really good. Whatever the Trickster's Daily, that's really good. They can get that. They can get all their dailies faster, so they can do more and more damage. And then this is United. Allies within 30 feet of you take 5% less damage. So as long as they stay within 30 feet, they take a lot less damage. So we're gonna have to like change up our dungeon run style, me and the guys that I run with, because they usually run ahead. Now they have to stick near me so that they take less damage and stuff. This is why I said Into the Fray is really good, because Into the Fray already boosts the damage of your teammates and stuff, but Into the Fray increases the damage dealt by group members by 5% now. So there's an extra 5% of damage that your group members deal to enemies, which is really freaking good. I didn't really see the point of having this because, again, I'm not going to be attacking much, neither this, because I'm not going to be using Anvil of Doom much either, because that's not really going to be in my encounter powers. I'll be usually running Knight's Valor. It'd be good for soloing, but Knight's Valor, Enforced Threat, Into the Fray, what I'm running most of the time. And then the last one I went with Martial Mastery. Reason being because taking damage now builds action points for yourself and allies within 50 feet. You gain bonus to this value based on your damage resistance. So as if my damage resistance is high, I get a bonus to action points, and I think my teammates too, as long as they're within 50 feet. So they get again, that's even more added on towards their dailies and stuff. So that's the build I went for my Guardian Fighter. I really like it. I followed one on MMOminds.com, which is a Neverwinter build website. I follow the build there, and it's really good. I've been having a lot of fun with it lately. It's I take a lot of damage. I've actually been sitting in like the Drowning Shores area, and I'd sit there just typing messages up, and I'd be getting attacked, and I didn't have to worry about it because my guy's defense is pretty decent. But yeah, that's my build, guys. If you want to see if you want to use that build, I definitely recommend that it because it's a really good one. I haven't tested it on dungeons yet, but from what my feats and stuff sound like, and what I've read them like, they sound really good for buffing your teammates and making them do more damage, which is what I really want to do, because it helps them do more damage and kill things faster, so they don't have to attack me anymore. I can take less damage by getting my teammates to attack. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscription as usual, and we'll see you later. Peace out.